G'day guys, Greg here. Now it's meat pie review time, and well, today I'm heading off to Brumby's. They're known for all sorts of breads and pastries and everything, as well as meat pies. So how about we whip on in, grab one, suss it out and see what a Brumby's meat pie is like. Let's go. Alright, here we go. The plain meat pie from Brumby's, $5.90 this cost. It's got a bit of weight about it. I've got the scales. Let's see how much it does weigh. Oh, only about probably 195 grams. Meat pies seem to be getting smaller and smaller every time I go to review one. But, in its defense, it is pretty much the average weight of every other pie that I get nowadays, unfortunately. But it might be the tastiest. So, there's only one way to find out. Let's take a look. Oh, well, I mean, it looks pretty nice. Looks like it's well cooked and everything, and, you know, there's a bit of depth about it, and well, it's looking all right. And FYI, it's about 10 centimetres across, with a depth of just under 4 centimetres. But let's pop its top and see how much meat is in it. Whoa, boy, it's really like stuck on well there. Very hard to crack open. Alright, well, there's its interior there. Oh, a nice smell just came out. Oh, it does smell like pal though. But there's a few chunks of meat in there. The gravy looks pretty thick. And it does smell nice. Doesn't look that beefy though, does it? But that gravy is super thick. Well, let's start off and see what this pastry tastes like. See if it's nice and light and fluffy. It's feeling a bit hard. Pretty plain. Not much flavour. No like buttery taste or seasoning in it. What about a bit of this gravy inside? Nice. Getting a few big chunks of beef in there. Not like chunky ones, but, you know, minced beef. Not really a classic meat pie flavour, but, I mean, it tastes alright. Seems to be seasoned well enough. Tastes okay. Let's see what it tastes like all together. Tastes like there's lots of pastry there. All I'm getting is hard, lower crust pastry with a bit of meat flavour thrown in. You can see how thick the pastry is on the side walls there, and well, it really just takes over the whole flavour of the meat. Not getting much meat flavour, but I probably need to delve on deeper. Yeah, got some then, and it added a meaty flavour to it, but it just doesn't seem to have that real classic meat pie flavour. It seems to be a more beef and gravy flavour than a meat pie sort of flavour. I mean, it's tasting all right, but Probably would have preferred more meat, because when you look at that, there's hardly any. It doesn't taste exciting, and it's not giving me any reason to want to go back and have another one. But I do have some tomato sauce here. Let's add some on and see if that makes any difference. If I can get it open, how do you even open these things without... Oh, here we go. Oh no, I'm bleeding! Only joking. Oh, maybe I was bleeding. Tasted like pure alcohol. Right. Okay. Bit of dead horse, as they call it, in Australia. Let's go. Well, now it just tastes like tomato sauce on a bland pastry with a meat pie filling that doesn't really taste like a meat pie. This meat pie isn't tasting as well as I thought it might. So I wonder what score I'd give it out of 10. Well, value-wise, $5.90. Nowadays, that's probably one of the cheaper meat pies you're going to get. Most of them are $6, $7, $8. But there's probably a reason you're paying $5.90 for it, because, well, the flavour of it isn't that great. The meat inside, well, it's tasty enough, and it's beefy and nice and thick and rich, but it hasn't got that classic meat pie flavour that you just crave. And the pastry on top, well, that was pretty bland and boring and flavourless and tasteless with no seasoning or any buttery flavour. And the pastry underneath, well, it was really thick and hard and, well, just overpowered this whole pie. It tasted all right, but it didn't give me the satisfaction I was chasing. So for my all over value, all over flavour, all over taste, all over everything score for the Brumbys plain meat pie, I think I can only give this a... a 6.4 out of 10. Not exactly the sort of pie that you'd be craving and think, oh, I've got to go to Brumby's and grab one of their meat pies. They're awesome. You would never be thinking that, I don't think. Well, at least I haven't thought that. And, well, that's very important, is that feeling. And the feeling I get from this is they just tried to make as many as they could for as cheap as they could. But that's my opinion anyway. Have you tried the Brumby's pies? Not the best one I've had. Although I don't think it's the worst either. But there you go. The classic meat pie. When I went in to ask what the most popular ones are, she said the classic and also the beef, cheese and bacon, I think. So I might have to go in and try the beef, cheese and bacon one. Apparently that one's better, says the girl working there. Anyway, if you made it this far, why don't you show this video some thumbing love? If you want to see more meat pie reviews, hit that subscribe button. I could have just saved you $5.90 and a wasted trip to Brumbys. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. I ate a meat pie. See you then.
Ooh yeah, this is Greg's Kitchen, where the reviews are finger